It's you. It's you. Oh, you. The second I saw you, I'm nervous that it's you.
Hey,
Welcome back to the Steady Show. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the show.
hey.
We got Geeks in the building.
Woo, we got the steady boss in the building, y'all.
We have the great prime time Dennis in the building. And we got Carla the Charmer in the building. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, guys?
All is good.
Oh, I know what the problem is. Don't worry.
Awesome.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Hey,
What's going on, guys?
all is good.
I'm not
I'm not
hearing
hearing
Dennis
Dennis.
at all.
Not hearing
Yeah, man.
you,
So
Dennis.
big up, big up, big up. Thank you for joining these. All right. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you.
Carla, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, good to go.
We're
All right,
not
good,
hearing
good.
Dennis.
I'm hearing you too, so we're good to go. I'm waiting to hear what's going on. Let me look what's going on. Dennis, here's what you can do. You probably could exit the studio and return. I don't know. Usually sometimes that works. You get what I'm saying? Seems like there's a microphone issue over there. But welcome back to the Steady Show, everybody. In the meantime, let us go ahead and pull up what we got for you tonight. We got some slides right here. And
Yes.
is this it right
It's going to
here?
be a hot topic.
PowerPoint. Hey, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, let me add this to the stream right now. Big up to those who are in Facebook land and those on YouTube. Let me look in the comments right here because I see people commenting already, you know. So while we wait on Primetime Dennis, did we pull up the wrong one? I think so. Carla, you get extra stuff, man. I removed this one. Wrong topic tonight. Anything can happen, my friend. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen live.
Dennis,
it's all good.
Anything can happen when you're live.
There you go.
Let us go ahead and get our topic tonight. See, I'm here worried about Primetime Dennis, you know, so I'm here wondering what's going on with Primetime Dennis.
I wonder if
all right, let me remove this one from the studio. I'm wondering. All right, so we got folks in the building. I see Geens healing them up right now. All right, we're coming, folks. I like that. I like it. We're loaded up. We're loaded up. We're loaded up. Welcome, welcome. All right, Dennis. Dennis.
There he is. I hear it. Now.
I hearing him now, Dennis.
Yeah, we're here.
All right, so am I still?
All right.
Yep, we hear you.
Yeah. You're good now. You're good now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Primetime Dennis in the building. Hey. All right. Please go ahead and acknowledge the people who are. Hey. She's go ahead and acknowledge the people that are in the chat right now.
Yes, right now we have Moods Lifestyle in the building.
Mm-hmm.
We have Sister Renisha Stevenson in the building.
Big
Hello,
up, Renisha, little sis. Big up, big up,
we
big
got
up.
Jules in the building. Remember to follow at No Waste by Jules.
Mhm.
We got Tamoy in the building. Welcome
Tamoy
back,
in the building.
Tamoy.
Tamoy, and I'm making no mistake with the name this time around.
Kay Bella in the building. Welcome, Kay Bella. I'll put all Instagram in the chat. Just follow each other, y'all. We're here
Yeah.
for the love and support.
I hope you guys saw our ads and so on. We have people who are here and they have their businesses going on and so on. So we are highlighting them. Make sure you go ahead and check them out. And Prime, Carla the Charmer. I think I found my slide right now. So I know you will talk to me after the show. You need to get organized, steady. Carla the Charmer, please forgive me, okay?
It's
But
all good,
anyways,
fam.
but while we're
It's all
waiting on
good.
the slide, huh?
It's
It's
all
all good.
good.
It's all good. It's all love. All
All
right.
love.
So before we bring up the slide, I want to say congratulations to Primetime Dennis. I love the image. I love the look. I love the new studio. I like even the glasses. I need to get the glasses. Big up yourself for the Primetime Dennis. Listen, in life, you
He's
have
getting
to
official.
improve. Yeah, he's getting official.
Yeah.
As a matter of
He's
fact, I'm
getting
seeing that
official.
we have 12 people watching on Facebook right now. So welcome Facebook into the building.
Facebook Live.
Yes.
Facebook Live is here. Make sure if you're on Facebook, make sure that you go ahead and you hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe while you are at it. So without any further ado, Primetime Dennis, welcome, sir. I love the new look inside the studio. What go on, brother?
Great things. And as always, it's a pleasure being here with you guys. Like we always say, we're building a community of like-minded people, and
Yes.
I'm so fascinated by the whole thing that surrounds it. I am delighted to be in your guys' presence again, and I'm ready to take
Yes,
it
sir.
on. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, we are ready. I noticed that.
That.
I noticed that Carla the Charmer exited the studio. Carla, can you show me a thumbs up if you're ready to come back in the studio? All right, she's ready. Look, I Carla gonna change her clothes. I trouble you. All right, she's ready to be back in the studio. I'm just messing with you. You know that's what I do. All right, so every now
How's
and
it
then
going, fam?
we are well, man. We are well. So we are not even waiting tonight. Geens, what are we talking about tonight?
Staying in an abusive relationship because of your religion, how will that end?
Staying in an abusive relationship because of your religion. How is that going to end, folks? We know that there are a lot of stories about how them kind of something here end. Now, right at the outset of this, you understand me? I want to say, first and foremost, I want to say big up to my son, Darren, for graduating yesterday from high school. And he was like, deputy top boy, deputy top boy. Please give him a round of applause. Darren, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. So proud. The boy gives speech and all that. I feel good. I feel good. Big up yourself, Darren, and we're watching there right now. Now, as it relates to this particular topic, Carla the Charmer strikes again. You understand me? Because not only did we put these topics together as a team, but Carla and she did a little survey on her
I
page to
did.
see what was going on. You
I
understand
did.
me? And we are learning that just to find out what people would do as it relates to this whole domestic violence situation. And
Mhm.
you said you had 38 respondents.
38
Yes. And what
respondents.
percentage of them said they would stay in the relationship? Yes.
33% would stay. So that's 12.54. And 67%
Hey.
said that they would leave. So that is 25.46 decided that they would leave, but 12.54 said that they would stay. And that was both men and women.
Mm.
I was
Very, very
shocked.
interesting. folks,
I was shocked.
yeah, crazy stuff, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, folks
Yeah.
in the chat, you can let us know what you would do. You would never know. We can't assume or whatever. But this issue of domestic violence, domestic abuse in relationship is very, very serious. And for a lot of people, I mean, you would think that this is an issue that people experience because of their socio-economic background and all that kind of stuff, but not at all. You understand me? This kind of stuff happens in every socio-economic background you can think of. It happens in any, and it happens in religions, no matter what religion you're a part of. And then Carla the Charmer, before we bring on Primetime Dennis again, we had a background story. And tonight we might have somebody that's calling in and they will share what they've been experiencing. You get what I'm saying? And
Yes.
the fact that because of their religious beliefs, they are in an abusive relationship. And what their religion is telling them, or what their church is telling them, is that they should stay and work it out. You understand me? Stay and work it out. Work it out. You understand me? Which is crazy because we know that people when they're going through a lot of stuff sometimes. I see prime time Dennis. I hope he's good. All right, he's connecting again. You understand me? But we know that people, they go through stuff, and for a lot of people, that's the breaking point. You understand? So Carla the Charmer, you're saying that this person might be with us tonight. And what's the backdrop to the story just before they come up or whatever? I mean, what are we looking forward to?
Well, it's physical,
Mm-hmm.
emotional, and verbal abuse. And the misconception is this: a lot of times we think that anytime you think of abuse, you think that it's typically the female that is being abused.
Being abused, right?
However, men also, there's a misconception that men don't get abused, but that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
they physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. I have witnessed that. I have seen it not only in my job, but people that I know. But a lot of times it's not reported by the man because then they are not perceived as being manly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some
Mm-hmm.
men that will take it because of the fact that they do not want to, they would never put their hands on a woman. You understand what I'm saying? And they'll sit there and
Mm-hmm.
they'll take it. Some of the men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want us thinking, because we are speaking of this topic, that the majority of abusers, we can't just assume that the majority of the victims are women, because that's not necessarily the case. Yeah.
All right, all right. So women do it too. Primetime Dennis, what you have to say about that?
No, she's indeed right. I don't know on a percentage level, but man is because we're talking about abuse in general. Man is verbally abused, and one of the things that I often talk about is that we tend to think that a man will always equate a man physical strength to his emotional strength, and I
Straight,
can tell
right,
you
right,
that
right.
man is emotionally weak much more than a woman. What a woman can endure emotionally, the man cannot do. And that is where he's been abused. And because of our society, the pressure that society put on man, sometimes, and we talked about pressure about spite last night, but the pressure that
Yep.
society put on, because it's okay for the woman to talk about it, and vent to anybody,
Yeah.
even strangers she can say. But the moment the man do it, he
So
is weak.
Weak.
He is
Yep.
degraded in every aspect because as a man he's supposed to hold it. And these are the things that result several times are a lot in physical abuse, graduate to physical abuse, to even sometimes death. Because the pressure that is built up and how society put the pressure on the man and don't allow him to talk because you can't talk. You're not supposed to talk. So these are the things. I'm glad you guys touching
yeah.
this topic. It's a very, 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 very important topic. But when you have
Yeah,
when
man.
you're part of an organization that is dictating to you, that's where the sadness come in. Because if you go and find a lot of times we have these religion that is dictating to us, right? Pastor and all of these religious leaders, them
Mm.
gone home and they gonna live them good life if they are, and
Wow.
want us to have a good reflection on their organization, their church. So if you know, because when you divorce, when that divorce happen in a church, you know, it affect the image of the church. So most times, yes, I will agree that parts of the Bible support staying, but we are getting
Yeah.
married. Sometimes we get
Yeah.
involved in these relationships for ourselves. You get what I'm saying? And then get God involved. And God never enlightened at the beginning. The Bible
Yeah. Yeah.
it never involved at the beginning because most of the time,
Never.
you
Oh
know,
my
your
God.
physical attraction that put us together. It's
Yeah,
a
man.
physical attraction that put
Yeah,
us
man.
together. You know? You understand? Nobody think
Yeah.
about the internal. That is the most important thing, and that's what's gonna lead to the abuse. It just don't make any sense
Flesh
that the church would
is
have stand up and want you
flesh is
to go through all
weak.
this just to protect their image. I think you're having an internet issue.
Flesh is weak. Flesh is.
And
Uh,
in the chat then.
Seems that we're having some issues right now as it relates to our connectivity, but we should be good to go. One of the things that's good is that whenever there are connectivity issues after the stream ends, we actually hear everything very clear. Of course, we don't want that to continue because now and then we have those issues or we experience those issues for whatever reason there is in the world. You understand me? Dennis, are you hearing me clearly?
Oh, like you're standing beside me.
Yeah. I don't know if the people in the chat they could hear or whatever, but from my standpoint, it seems that we weren't clear. So I wanted to apologize for that. I don't like bad connectivity at all. But you said a whole lot of things a while ago, and very, very important. And we're gonna come back to some of those because we do have some statistics to talk about as we get into it. But as we like to do on the Steady Show, we like to welcome our guests and so on. And we've seen a whole lot of new people tonight on Facebook, and we are seeing them on YouTube. And the lovely lady beside me, she's gonna go ahead and introduce some of these or big up some of them people. All right, I know. I'm gonna big
Yes.
them up.
Oh my God. All right. So let's pick up from where we left off. Welcome, Princess T. Princess T in the building.
Hey, Princess T.
Welcome. Welcome, sis. Gregory Smith in the building.
Big up
In the
Gregory
dark
in the
building,
building.
Gregory.
Yeah,
The
big up
boss, the
Gregory.
boss, the boss,
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh no, it's a different Gregory.
Okay, okay,
But he's a
okay,
boss, same way,
okay.
so no problem. He's a boss, so no problem.
They correct them now. Mrs. Small in the
Mrs.
building. Big
Small
up
in
to
the
the
building.
Smalls.
All right, let's go through them real quick so we can pick up
Okay.
again.
Queen ML, Tanya Monroe Leach is in the building.
Big up, Tanya.
Let's see. Jessica Whitehead is in the building.
Big up,
Welcome,
Jess. Big up,
Mwah,
Jess.
mwah,
Big up, big
mwah.
up.
And I think that's where we are.
That's where we are right now. That's what's visible right now and so on.
Yes.
So as it relates to some of the things you guys are talking about, I'm gonna put back up the slide. We have already heard what Carla said. We don't have no big PowerPoint presentation that's going on. Just a couple of statistics that Sheen's put together. You get what I'm saying? So Sheen's is gonna look at some of these things right now. All right, so you want to just do this part of
Yeah,
it?
Jamaican statistics. This was taken from unwomen.org. So it just focused on women. The first national survey on gender-based violence in Jamaica shows a high prevalence rate, and I'm just reading the slide, of 27.8%, with more than 1 in every 4 women in Jamaica experiencing intimate partner violence in their lifetime. It's 25% of women.
Yeah. All right. So that's what we're going to do right now. 25% of women, and I think another part of it says what, like 11% of men, right? Was it our
American
when did I saw?
statistics.
Oh, in American statistics.
Right.
Yeah.
So This one says nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. During 1 year, this equates to more than 10 million men and women. For American statistics, 1 in 4 women, and this covers all races, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe intimate partner violence, physical violence, sexual violence, stalking, and all the other stuff that comes with it. Yeah.
All right, let's exit the full screen. We're just gonna run through this, and then we have the discussion
And
when
then
we're
there
done.
is a focus on Black women
And then the focus
on the Black population in
the
America.
black, right? So we're gonna zero in on the Black people and part of it. So
Okay. So both Black women and Black men experience domestic violence at higher rates than other communities. 45.1% of Black women experience physical violence, sexual violence, stalking from their partner. 40.1% of Black men experience those abuses as well. 1 in 3 women experience domestic violence, and 1 in 4 men experience domestic violence. So the numbers are not so different.
So 1 in 4 experience domestic violence, showing that African Americans and African Americans in particular are disproportionately affected by this issue. So I'm gonna take the slide off right now. We're getting right into this thing. Let me remove this. So that was not that I'm in any way surprised at all that in our community we experience this kind of stuff, and we know that right now in Jamaica and the Black community on a whole, whether you're looking at news from America or you're looking at it from right here in Jamaica, every single day you get up on TV, you hear about another woman whose life got taken by some kind of man. We hear that very often in Jamaica. We don't hear so much about women taking, like, even though there was a case the other day, woman shoot her police husband. So that's something. So one of the things we want to focus on though, is that these things are happening. You understand me? And these things are happening just about every and anywhere. And it makes you wonder, what are the underlying reasons that we're experiencing these things? As I always say, unfortunately for us as Black people, we are not very good when it comes on to resolving our issue. And I think a lot of it has to do with how we raise, how they raise we. You understand me? Raised to really express yourself as you open your mouth. So shut up your mouth before me box you in your mouth. You understand me? Shut up before me box you. How we are talk to? You understand me? We're used to. Yeah, man. We grew up. I didn't hear that. A while ago.
No, you're basically saying that we were raised violently.
Yeah, man. We were raised very, very rough, and no matter, you might think only poor people alone do it, but we have this thing whereby we don't get feel love. Tough love is our thing. Tough love is our thing.
And not heard.
And you wonder if it's tough love is not at all. Be seen and not heard.
Not heard.
Tough love
but when you graduate to the relationship, though, when you graduate to the relationship aspect of it, it's a different.
Yes.
Because even though you're trying to say that it was embedded in us from an earlier stage, but now we are adults coming together to form a union. We are to be respectful of each other and add all the ingredients that a relationship takes for it to work. First, you cannot be choosing, man, because we're talking about, we don't want to leave that aspect of it about the church imposing or dictating.
Yeah, man, we get there. We're coming there.
Right.
Yeah.
So first you are choosing a woman because of their physical image. They're not even ready to be. Some of the time they're not even ready to be a wife or a spouse or whatever you want to call them. And a lot of these women, and then you get God involved, and then you start. You never get God involved when you don't look at her, because probably know that tell us boy, not because she look good. That's not a good choice. But when you start mash up now, you start get God involved and you run Ghana past, then run Ghana this and pastor start telling you to stay here.
But then it's who gonna get God involved when the girl them on the big bump out the road? Yeah, like, what is the woman? The woman them look good enough. God is the last thing you think about in that is. Yeah, you know this. You come complain hypocrite because jacket. You come go like you know pastor, you know.
We
Hold on, you
lose
know.
all senses.
We lose our senses.
We
Can you
lose
know
all
that?
senses.
Yes, man.
We
Can
lose-
you know that?
No, I know that. I know that when I was younger. When I was younger, yes, that was what that was my whole approach to it. But maturity kicks in, and I started to see life different. So I cannot embrace that aspect of it, you know. Right?
Yeah,
Me,
yeah.
I have to deal with it for what it is and what it ought to be. And the
Okay.
whole platform of the steady show is to educate people as to how they should approach and how they should deal with a relationship.
We can let them know.
Dennis. So
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes, ma'am.
what you're saying is, so the Bible says, "He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and favor with the Lord." What you're saying that everybody that's getting married is not necessarily a wife.
No, I thought God never find them. And God never involved in the finding.
Right.
He was absent in all of that, you know.
Right.
You understand? You had taught me some things as it relates to the Bible and well, I don't want to even call it the Bible, the roadmap to life, which is to living. And you had taught me some things. No, you can't just go on your own and because of you know that the girl have the big booty or she have her long hair, whatever there is, you know, you fall for it and then take her turn into a wife and expect that it's gonna work. There are several things that needed for a relationship to complete a relationship. You have to be able to communicate. It requires commitment, right? And you have to be compatible, and you have to be able to complement each other. Most of those four things are absent in most of these relationships that you're having problems with.
So
You
you're saying,
understand? You want it to work.
yeah. All right, go ahead, Carla.
You're right, but the thing is that if I'm Catholic, which I'm not, but if I'm Catholic, let's say, and the Catholic religion is very much against divorce. So you did not marry a wife; you married a female because of the way that she looks, because of the way that she finessed or charmed you or whatever.
Right.
But now that you're in it. Now that you were in it,
In it.
and your religious beliefs, i.e., Catholic or what have you, tells you that you should not divorce, you stay because of that.
You stay because of that. I know you start suffer, and then then how will it
All right,
end?
Dennis.
As the question asked, end in a prison.
How it ends?
Or is it
In
where?
a prison. So we know these things that end in prison and death. Now, earlier on when I was laying the foundation, you see, first of all, we kind of wanted to look at the people entering into relationships, where they are coming from, because children live what they learn and children become adults one day. And if they've never had any kind of training, I've heard somebody say one time that, you know, your parents, they're responsible for your history or whatever. You understand me? But your mentors they are responsible for your future. So when you become an adult, then you learn to start make better decision in your life. So I'm saying a lot of people, and as Dennis alluded to, but we can't just jump to there. So we have to kind of still explore the issues that take place. So as I said before, we're raised violent, and so therefore we come into relationships with that history. You understand me? With that frame of reference, with that frame of culture. Now, some people come from one variation of foolishness, other people come from other variations, but it's still a whole lot of foolishness that people come into relationships with. And when the two of them come together, you understand me? The Bible said the two shall become one, but now you wonder which one the two shall become, You understand me? If you should become like her, or if she should become like you. You understand me? Anyway, we understand what that means. But it's about being able to synchronize. So we say a lot of people come in. Now, here's a part that I would want to stray from the topic that we're discussing. We talk about religion, because we say, okay, here is somebody that is experiencing abuse. In this case, physical abuse. I would know that if there's physical abuse, there must have been verbal abuse as
Verbal
well.
and
All kinds of
emotional.
abuse and emotional
And
abuse.
emotion.
So you're going through all the things that you're not supposed to go through. And when you go to church now and you say, Pastor, you know, say, she do it again, she beat him. You know what I'm talking about? She beat him again. You understand me? And when she beat you, and you go to church, and in this case, we're talking about the woman, because the lovely ladies, me know someone who look good and educated and nice, and me loving about someone to beat, man.
Yep.
Someone,
Yeah.
the lady that beat man too.
Steady.
You
You know, so
understand me?
at this stage of my life, there will be no abuse. And there is no organization that can dictate to me that I take any ounce of abuse. I would never quarrel with a woman more than once if it happened one time. And I'm dead serious. I know we're not living that perfect world, but I only one time. Because if a woman called me out of my name once.
Hold on there. What you say, if you quarrel with a woman once, that
I'm done. I am done.
Wait a minute.
You plan to go to that life prime time, Dennis?
No, I am so, let me tell you something. I am so comfortably in my skin and I love Dennis so much that I'm not going to have nobody call me out of my name and disrespect me. I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll have difference in opinion and we can discuss it and we can discuss it hard. But the level...
I can't agree with the prime time, Dennis. Quarrel if you go and look out woman get trouble prime time, Dennis. Quarrel if you go on the relation.
Let me tell you something. I can tell you that it's not necessary. I've been in a relationship where it never happened, none at all. And I've been in a relationship where I've seen it. You understand? I walk away from stuff like that. Of course, we have disagreement, but we resolve it. We have difference in opinion, but we resolve it. We talk about it because we're adults. You don't treat me like a child. You're not going to call me out of my... I cannot make love to somebody that call me out of my name. It can't happen.
Oh, Lord.
And I know I'm talking strong, but there will be no forgiveness for anything like that. I just don't know how to do it. And I know whatever people's opinion are of me or is of me, I mean, this is me. I can't do it. And it don't have to be.
Hold on. I know you're very rich or your name Dennis real rich. But Dennis for all
You know,
problem, I will if a divorce you have to go through in a life, and split everything. Make sure so you sign the prenup, Dennis. Because you get problem.
Well, I think it's
I disagree with you big time. I disagree with you big time. Big time.
Yeah.
You know, one of the common things that Carla talks about all the time is uneven you up. There are certain category of women that I choose to deal with because that's where I best fit in. That's where I best fit. Let me tell you something. I must say this on this platform. You see, I lived in Chicago for 27 years. You see, I lived in Chicago for 27 years, and there's a common street in Chicago where they call Howard Street and the north side of Chicago. As a matter of fact, in Chicago, none of them know about the place can't call them the same. Can't call my name because I'm not mix. And yet still, I'm a social butterfly. You understand? I am very selective because we have to compatible in the important areas. And if I am gonna deal with somebody that I cannot communicate well with, it makes no sense because all that's gonna happen is that we're gonna have disagreement upon disagreement, and then it gradually start graduating to different stuff, and then end up in abuse. I cannot do it, and I will not do it. I am able to do everything for myself, and I love myself too much to subject myself to anybody, to any form of abuse. I'm not going to take it.
Because, listen, if you're with prime time, Dennis, put a one in the chat, please. If you're with prime time, team Dennis, put a one in the chat, please. You understand me? But listen, man, quarreling and people gonna have issues in a relationship. We understand that, but abuse.
No, I'm disagreement. Use the right word. Disagreement.
Yeah, man. Quarreling don't go on sometimes.
Not to cut you off, but I'm fully aware that there are cultural differences, and I was farm or mold differently. So it's two different people coming together. There will be differences, but it's how you resolve it. It don't have to resolve in a quarrel. I mean, and I'm talking about our definition of quarrel.
Yes. But there is sometimes the woman them get emotional and then I want to apply no logic, then just want to irritate you, You never deal with that yet. You never deal with that yet. That's what you experience in your life, Dennis.
Hold on. How do you think I get here? How do you think I get to this position? It's after going through all that. So I take a position from my experience.
But hold on a second. I think you are people might view it as being extreme, but there's truly no reason why someone would call you, whether it's a B or call you a whatever, you know what I mean? There's really no reason for anybody to call you something like that. You understand what I'm saying? So
hello.
Yeah.
Carl, I don't mean to cut you off, but because I'm old, sometimes I don't remember things. But let me tell you something. My brother-in-law and my sister, they have been together for more than 30 years and they never quarreled.
Never?
Yeah, never quarreled.
I'm sure they've had disagreements.
Never quarreled.
They've never had a
quarreled.
disagreement.
You don't have to. I'm assuming there is disagreement. I am assuming that they must have disagreement too. I am assuming that they must have disagreement. But there are just certain mechanisms that they put into their relationship that they resolve it without anybody at all ever hear. And Claudette and Luther Graham, I can tell you that. Never for over 30 years. Never.
All right, never over 30 years. Hold on there. All right, easy. So that is what you call them experiences. That is more anecdotal, Dennis. You have people like me and you with temperament like me and you. Hold on, I don't want to cut off here, sir. I see the things disappearing again. Let us wait. Make him come back. Are you here in the prime time, Dennis?
I am with you. I would never leave you.
Yeah. I was wondering if you ever get one piece of sense of humor to you. He come and strong. What are you drinking tonight, sir? What are you drinking tonight, Mr. Primetime?
Water.
Listen.
Water.
Hold on, let me speak. And then when we finish speak now, call about speak because we realize that because you get a student now, we can't talk to you again with jacket. But make me send my wife one of a jacket them right now in a Dennis. Now play with me,
Notice I'm not even drinking alcohol again. I drink tea. I'm upgraded.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is great time. That is in the building right now. That's what we do on the Steady Show. So make sure say on a like and make sure say on a subscribe for the on Facebook. You understand me? Make sure you want to come over on YouTube. Support the thing because this is how we talk on the Steady Show. You understand? Now, Dennis, back to you now, my what you know, big bro. It's impossible for you to have a man. Any woman can see themselves there with somebody like a Dennis and they're not in a quarrel. Oh, Dennis love to talk over people. Look at tell me. You cut off prime time, caller.
Look. You know what other woman I only date Proverbs 31 type of woman.
Hey.
So that's why the issues that you all have, I don't have them.
That's fired. All right. Done. Proverbs 31.
I'm just telling you.
All right, caller, can I talk now, Dennis?
I will allow her. I'll allow her.
All right. Caller, Tama. Fire on the Steady Show tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
That's how we do. I like it. That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Oh my goodness.
Carl and Trevor, what do you have to say about all of this? And after that, guess what? We're going to the comments. Dennis, you take away your rule again tonight.
You know, I was just gonna do it, you know. I was just gonna do it, but because you talked about Carla and I did not want to interrupt, but we want to get to the comment. Should we get to the comment before we deal with Carla though?
Go ahead.
Blame
Go
it
to the
on me,
comments. Go
blame
ahead.
it on
Go
me.
ahead.
I think we should do the comment first. Because we're going to comment quite a few times. So let us get into the comment.
All right, let's jump in the comments right now. By the way, big up to the comment section right now. Hearts
Yes.
alone. I love the comment section. Always live. Where people am I saying that comment section?
Right. Princess T had said communication is definitely something that needs to be taught and learned. It's what we're talking about how we
Great
were raised.
comment. Great comment. Hold on, let me put up my arm. Let me give her one thing. Oh, you know what? This will take too long. But
Something.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Sweetheart.
All right, make we acknowledge them. All right, do your thing. Princess T, big up to the comment section. All right, go on. Do your thing. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go back now. All right, come on.
All right.
All right, here you go. Do your thing, babe. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay.
Do your thing. Comment section time. I know that's the big part of the screen. Comment section time. Yeah.
Tanya says Tanya agreed with she says we are to be equally yoked.
Yeah, equally.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Said Dennis Nam play.
Dennis now
Welcome,
play.
Claudine.
Big up, Claudine. Big up.
Moods Lifestyle say Uncle Dennis teeth and tongue after me.
After me, yes,
No,
mood.
I disagree with it. Disagree.
What do you mean?
Disagree. Disagree. Look, I'm talking from experience. It don't have to happen. And these are the things you guys let in and think that it's a part of it. Teacher Anton is not a part of it. Disagreement will be a part of it.
As long as woman is a part of it, Tita have to be a part of it, brother. All right,
No. I'm talking from experience.
All right, we're gonna move on now, prime time, Dennis.
So Princess T says no moving on yet.
Princess T.
Heated disagreements, yes, but no name.
No name called. Big up your princess.
Mhm.
Big up.
He's coming home. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Christine, welcome, Christine. Thank you for being on Facebook Live.
Big up, Christine.
Says misunderstandings will always be there. Of course, Princess T said, come true, Uncle Dennis.
Hey, big up Uncle Dennis in the building.
And someone having a grand time.
I work. Dennis come for work tonight.
But
I want to think.
Here's a big one.
Let's see what K-Bella.
Dennis drinking Bailey's over there.
Bailey's over there. Bailey's out of the teacup. Dennis, what kind of thing is that, man?
Giving away.
All right. What is this comment right now?
In this day and age, K-Bella says, in this day and age, the church should confront any form of abuse as sin. Abuse is sinful behavior, and the church needs to treat it the same way they would treat any other.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a go rough when the church I will look at abuse and want to overlook it or tell you to live with it. It cannot be good, because then what happens when you are looking to the church for guidance and they feel you're being abused? They're really setting you up to do crazy things. Because what happens is that if you are being abused and you're not getting any real help or you're not taking the right step, then you might just retaliate and become an abuser as well. You understand? That's what I say.
Yeah.
All right, got you.
Right. Avagay says real talk, Auntie K.
Yeah.
And then someone says, Carla, you're speechless because of how Dennis was going on. But here we go.
All right, good.
Samoy says teeth and tongue won't have to meet once you understand each other and both parties are mature.
All right, let me get her. Dennis, you can't clap that loud. You're definitely.
Ja Prince is in the building.
Big up Ja Prince in the building.
Ja Prince.
Up, Ja Prince.
Ja Prince says, is the church saying work on it, not necessarily stay in the same abuse? That's a good question. Welcome, Deja Lee.
Yes.
Is a big up Deja Lee in the building. Let's go back to what?
Bella?
No, Ja Prince. What did Ja Prince?
Okay,
Ja
Ja Prince
Prince.
said, is a church saying work on it, not necessarily stay in the abuse.
Okay. Good. I suppose I believe that's what they're saying. Carla the Charmer, you want to respond to this one?
I want to respond to that. And the reason why is this. Again, if the female will go and be honest, so let's just bring the Jehovah Witness religion into this. If the female, let's just say the female goes and she shares with one of the church sisters that what is going on in the relationship or what have you, but the male isn't necessarily saying what exactly is going on. They have to come to the elders now, and the elders will counsel them. But if he's not being honest about the fact that he's being abused because of either shame or not wanting to not look manly, how would you get true counseling? And how can a person tell? Yeah. How do you get true counseling if the male is not being honest about what's going on and the female isn't necessarily being honest about what's going on?
I want to say something to that. Remember, counselors aren't miracle workers. And the counselors assume that when you go before them, you understand me, you're telling them the truth. So if you are not given all the information, you are wasting your time. And if you waste money, you waste your money too. Because they're going to counsel you on the basis of the information.
What you
you have to put everything on the table. You know, I don't know why people find it so difficult to talk the truth, you know. Like, I know everybody can handle the truth, but somebody have to decide who sleeps at night. And I love to decide it's me. The truth that kill nobody. You get what I'm saying? So I believe the church is telling them to work it out because they are not giving them the right information. But if they're telling the church that this is happening, you understand me, and the church is still telling them to stay and work it out, I think it is time to decide what's more important, if it is the church or your life, because that is just a belief. We've seen too many lives lost. So we know how it ends up. We know how it ends up when it is not properly resolved. We know how it ends up. You understand me? So this is not the day and age to be fooling around, because the church no believe you feel leave at all. You understand me? If you're being abused, especially physically, and in any way, how you can deal with it, you have to, if it cannot be resolved, it's time to up and leave. So yeah, that's my response to that question. Let's get back to the comment.
Let me respond to that for a second. If you could put it back, I would appreciate that previous
question or comment.
Let me just read it for a second and respond to it. So, well, I think from what he's saying, I think for a lot of churches and church pastors, especially the ones that I'm familiar with, they would encourage you to work on it. But if it's not workable, they will allow it to break apart. And it also depends on the person's substance in the church, you know, because when the big man up front there and his wife divorce, it have a bad image on the church. So a lot of times they encourage people to stay for those reasons. However, you have other religion, like for example the Jehovah Witness religion, who said that the separation is not an option. So there are some religion that speaks that way, and some is more flexible. So it just depends on what religion or what church you're affiliated with.
But could it be that you're misinterpreting what the Bible says? Because let's go back to the Catholic religion. If the Catholic religion say that you're not supposed to divorce, nowhere in the Bible can I find where you're supposed to endure physical abuse, emotional abuse, or verbal abuse. It speaks about the reason why a person can get a divorce is based on infidelity. Yes, but the common sense must prevail, and you must say, If someone is beating you, nowhere in the Bible, you don't have to read it in the Bible and say, no, you can leave because of this. Common sense must prevail.
Your question, or the first, when you start this comment, you ask a question: is if the church, if the Bible being misinterpreted? The Bible is being misinterpreted from day one in many other areas. That's why we have so much different religion coming from the same Bible, and so much different denomination coming from the same Bible. But yes, it is misinterpreted, and that's why I said to you that there are some church that would have been more understanding and allow it. You understand? And then some dictate. So it's just one interpretation. The denomination, how they interpret that section of it. I'm not too sure, but I know that. I mean, I'm not too sure what segment of it said, or I can't quote the scripture or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened, especially with my involvement in churches.
Well,
But
the way I see it is that if religion defies common sense, then it's time to question your religion where that is concerned. You understand what I'm saying? So it now makes no sense to me that somebody out to kill you. You understand me? And you're supposed to sit down and try to work it out with the person because they don't believe in divorce because of their interpretation of the Bible. Didn't Jesus say, take my yoke upon you because my yoke is easy and my burden is light? There is nothing easy and light about somebody a cuff you. You understand what I said you or I deal with you certain kind of ways. So I think it is grounds to move on. You don't expect everything to be written in the Bible because when you think about, remember the Bible and the courthouse are not the same thing, you know. Hold on, let me finish my statement. Let me finish my statement. The Bible and the courthouse is not the same thing. When the Bible talk about marriage and it tells you what marriage is supposed to be like, it is nothing like what we bring into marriage. Primetime Dennis, you did say something to that earlier on, but as I said in a previous show, when we bring up these issues, remember say earth people we are talk to. My wife says she like the word earthlings, so I'm going to use it again. We are dealing with earthlings. You understand what I say? And a lot of people are going to make mistakes. The whole of we make mistakes before we know how, we have sense and know how to do things the right way. You understand what I say to you? So, if you're beaten, you understand me? No, I don't know, no, I guess if a one-off situation occurs, just about in any situation, if a one-off situation occurs and whatever, and the two people, the whoever has been abused want to forgive and move on, and it never happens again or whatever, that's different. But if it's a constant thing, if this is what is being served up in the relationship, if this is what is being served up on the love menu or the hate menu or whatever, it's time to move on to another restaurant. You understand what I said to you? So, the church, I don't think the church is giving good advice if they're telling you to stick with it. I believe that Ja Prince also have some else. What did he say now?
He says, I feel there is an undertone in religion to keep marriage sacred, even if there is no love.
Yo, Ja Prince, I like how you talk, youth. First time I come on the show, I like how you talk, Ja Prince. I like how you talk. You understand me? So we assume the best and we hope for the best. And we counsel people with the hope that they will see the bigger picture and you understand, adopt the bigger picture. But in many cases it doesn't stop because like I said before, the abuse thing, it runs deep sometimes. Now, I'm gonna touch another area, right? Because when we talk about physical abuse and verbal, all of that, all of those things are, you can prove them, you can record them, you can have evidence of them. But there are other abuses that even the professionals, they say that they can be even more deadly. So what we talked about earlier on, we talk about the overt things, the obvious things, the things that can be seen and proven and can be heard by the neighbors. You understand me? As somebody say, Me and my wife, we don't argue, we just have loud discussions and the neighbors, they listen. You understand me? Not the kind of stuff that Primetime Dennis, not the kind of stuff that Primetime Dennis deal with. Because remember, Primetime Dennis is a Sutherland, and furthermore, not just a Sutherland, he's a Sutherland even before he's a man. Me right or me wrong?
Sutherland first.
Sutherland first.
You're a Sutherland before you're a man. Let me make that plain for all the new viewers. Primetime Dennis is a Sutherland even before he's a man. You understand what I'm saying? But let us get back on track with this. The covert things. You understand me? So we are talking about the silent treatment, the sarcasm, the lack of communication, the withholding of information, the lying, the gaslighting, the manipulation,
love bombing.
Hey, the love bombing. When the woman never love bombing, love bombing, you know. Well, Carla, I'm gonna come bring up no love bombing, you know, because you don't love watching more. All right, you remember when the movie 50 Shades of Grey did come out and the whole of Uno love and Christian Grey? Yeah, man. All of a sudden, they want one rich man who can fly in one helicopter, having business them, having one this and that. They want that the man to be biggest freak in the world. You understand me? And that's the only situation the woman, they want one man to beat them and grab them and throw them. Woman, it's not so easy, something in a prime time, Dennis. You understand me? When Christian Grey come out, we finally see what the woman them made of two, you know. So we don't want to let you know after the hook it up. Prime time caller, we know you didn't watch that show because of your religion. Caller, you don't need to comment on this because we know you never watch it. Me and my wife have no knowledge of that movie. None whatsoever. Religion is Bible is what we go for. You understand me? But make we get back on track.
I still think that if persons are following the principles of the Bible, they just can't go wrong as it relates to their relationship. And
but if it's not misinterpreted, because the thing is this, let's totally be honest. Yeah. Totally. Some people, especially in church, some people could be one way at home, but then in front of the pastor, they're poly purebred. You understand?
That's how I'm whole different show, Miss Carla. That's how I'm whole different show.
No, it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same topic, Dennis. Because as I said before, I'm gonna miss my track. I'm gonna go off. It's that I say the covert things, because I remember, you know, especially if you're somebody who you want the intimacy and you want the love and whatever, and then this person is doing all of this thing to you, it is no less damaging psychologically, you know. So if anybody not familiar with gaslighting, that the person will look on you. By the way, Shaggy didn't make gaslighting sound very good. You remember when he did that, it wasn't me. You saw me on the counter, it wasn't me. Banging on the sofa, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me, right.
It's a very real thing that people practice in life. You know? And if any of you are guilty in the chat of cheating and being caught in the act, and you say it wasn't you, I rebuke you.
In the name of Jesus.
You know, I have a friend that that went home one time and saw a guy in the shower with his wife, and they were both naked. And this is a true story. This happened in Florida. The guy saw it, went home. He loved this woman, and she was really abusing him, you know, very much abused to the highest level. She was dominating the relationship. And he went home and saw a guy in the shower with his wife. And you know, she told him that he was just taking off something off her back or doing something for him, but because he didn't want his clothes to wet, he took it off. And the guy, they actually worked through that.
Yeah.
That's gaslighting.
Yeah.
That's gaslighting. Yeah. So that's
emotional abuse.
Yeah, it's called gaslighting. So that's when you've been caught in the act, and if instead of saying, you know, say be wrong. Then tell us say, no, it's not what you think it is. So yeah, look funny in your eyes. So the gaslighting is the person who's gonna lie to you so much that they cause you to doubt your own sanity, cause you to doubt your own memory, cause you to doubt the very thing that you see in front of your very eyes. Some people are capable of it, and I'm telling you, it's a very dangerous kind of abuse. But these things never get spoken about, my friend. You understand me? We don't talk about these things. We only see the obvious ones. So I'm saying people bring. Let me tell you something. Human relationships, they're pretty simple, you know. You understand me? But when it comes down to people and how they view things, people love confirmation bias. You understand me? In other words, anything that they believe before, they tend to. So if they believe one thing, if they believe, say, if you have two wives, if you believe so anything, whatever you're supposed to do, they seek out only people who believe what they already believe. You understand me? And sometimes these are the things that we bring into relationships as well. You understand me? I said to you, and totally forget that. You forget what you're trying to build because remember, in our relationship, you cannot. Relationship is not about self-preservation. Relationship is about the two persons coming together and working things out. So when the two of them start clash and none of them not really understand them priority and they're not doing the right thing, things are going to escalate and abuse will come in. So you understand me? If you do it covertly or if you do it overtly, you have to examine what you're doing and choose to adapt the right principle. Because Jesus said what? As treat people how you want to be treated. You realize how simple it is, but it's very, very hard to do. Why? I don't know. What you said, Papa Sutherland?
No, I'm here listening to you and agree with a lot of things that you're saying. But I'm just saying, I want to stick in the same realm of the church because that's what the ad is about.
Yeah.
I just think that. Go ahead, Carla.
But Dennis, there's a scripture that says that the heart is deceptively wicked. The heart wants what it wants. And sometimes this is what happens. You will fall for a person, and then there's microaggressions that happen, and you totally dismiss it because the person, oh, I love you, this, that, and the other. No one's going to love you the way I love you. No one's going to treat you the way that I treat you. I am so in love with you. What you're wearing really sucks, but I love you, but nobody else is going to love you. So what happens is it's a grooming process. And you tend to start falling for it because a lot of times these people that are in these relationships, they will love you until you tell them no. They will love bomb you and give you all of the attention and make you feel like you're the only person until you put up any type of resistance, and then they tear you down again. Well, nobody's going to love you. Look at the way you look, this, that, and the other. But again, you have fallen so deeply in love with that person and you stop loving yourself. So a lot of times you stay in that type of abusive relationship. You allow them to call you out of your name that one time, and then they buy you the ring, or they buy you whatever, or they buy you whatever. They sweet talk you and then convince you, you know what, I really, really love you. It's because of you why I said what I said. So it's a grooming process. It's truly a grooming process. Yeah.
That's why I said first love all the way. First love all the way. Loving me first. And that will determine my tolerance. And how much I've got abuse. But I want you guys to get back to the comment because we have some people that really want to be a part of this.
Right.
Let's do that. I think we should set a time as to when we do that, like probably every 15 20 minutes.
Ja Prince.
All right. Ja Prince had said, continued his comment earlier. He said they cook you, but they still love you and need you, actually.
Yeah. Did you read that first one by Ja Prince, by the way?
Yeah. Okay. I dealt with that at length.
Yeah.
Jean Murray.
Big up Ja Prince for being here, too.
Big up Ja Prince in the building.
In the building.
Dennis, how many hear you touch up the keyboard in the background? Come on, man.
No, because we don't want trouble your thing. We don't want trouble your thing. That's how we're going to do it. No, we're not. We are low, yeah. And you're managing it.
Yeah, bust, man. All right, go on.
All right, Jean. I hope it's Jean, and I'm not pronouncing it incorrectly. Jean Murray Jarrett says, "Hi, Dennis."
Big up.
Blessings.
Dwayne Sutherland.
Dwayne Sutherland is here. He says, "Agree with Prince and the current speaker that you were talking at the time, the steady one. That's reasonable reasoning. Laws of the land and the Bible are two different interpretations. I would agree."
All right, respect, Dwayne. We have another Sutherland in the building. Hey, when we see Sutherland in the building, we have people they're prominent, you know. Anybody ever hear about Sutherland Global? Dennis stand up beside a Sutherland Global one time. He said, "People know that Dennis them own Sutherland."
Come at me in Santa Cruz when I told her my name. She asked me for a job, but I was the
All right.
See me if you tell life to grow the channel, please subscribe to the show. Thank you very much.
Carol is in the chat. Oh, by the way,
big up Carol. So hold on there, Carol. We're gonna drop a link. Carol, we need you to come talk to you. You don't have to be on camera, Carol, if you don't want to, but come talk to you if you feel like, man. You know, so we love when you're talking to Carol. Hey, one question Carol asked her the whole show mash up. I'll have to know we can't talk to her. Hey, if Carol asks one question right now, the whole show mash up. Carol, please go ask one question and mash up the show. Especially prime time, Dennis. Carol, you and I are on the same side. Yeah, so come in, Carol.
Carol, this is craziness.
Yeah.
This was when Carla was talking, or you were talking about manipulation. You were talking about manipulation at the time.
Emotional manipulation, gaslighting. Big up Prince. You know. Yeah, these things are very real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, here,
one moment for people on Facebook or big up myself because really soon. I will learn very soon how to acknowledge and see for them comment. But I see the likes continue to like the stream on Facebook. Just hit the like, man. It goes a long way. It helps the algorithms. Sheens, go ahead with the comments, please.
All right, and Facebook comments are definitely here.
Yo, them today? See, me not even know.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A good, fair, bright wife, you know.
Jesus, thank you.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
All right. Juice says, but you're mentioning calling you out of your name. But what if they're calling you out of your name, but just disagree with you on some things?
Dennis' question.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Dennis' question.
Yeah, I'm a drink. What? Answer.
Jules said, but I just mentioned calling you out of your name. But what I'm saying though, it's just we Jamaicans have some names to call some people, and that's what I am talking about. I don't think with proper communication we have to get to that point. We should stick to the problem or the situation at hand and let us resolve that. You know, we don't have to go that far as to disrespect somebody because now you're trampling on somebody's emotion, and that can only escalate to something else. So there is, I personally, I don't want to upset any of you guys, but if you call me out my name, it's no forgiveness. I just can't do it. It just don't make any sense to me. Oh, we could have resolved.
I can't call it prime time, Dennis. I can't call it prime time, Dennis.
Yes, man, but I just think that there's just certain things that just not acceptable. You know,
Carla,
Carla. You know the name. Carla, not familiar with what we call, but Carla, I am.
Me no Carla, yeah. Don't do that.
Why are you always doing that?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Carla, let me just be clear because I don't want to lose enough for the show. Can I call you Carla the Charmer still, or do I need to change it?
You can call me Carla the Charmer. And Dennis, you're always disowning me. Always.
Always.
I will not.
All right, name the hospital in Jamaica that you were born.
No. Dennis, no. No, Dennis, leave Carla the Charmer alone.
It's okay.
Yeah, so what I said is that, you know.
Back to the comments. Back to the comments.
One more answer. Let me finish. One more answer.
Mhm.
I think that love making in a relationship is a continuous thing. It's just the way you treat your partner, how you show love and appreciation, the way you talk to your partner and all that, it make it easier for the romance when you close the door. You understand? And for me personally, it is very difficult after we have that level of disagreement where you go in class with something with 4 foot and all them or something. And then to get back in a bed with you, we just can't. I cannot get past that. And I'm sounding very rigid, but I can't get past that. It never have to get to that point.
Mhm.
You understand? Because now you're tempting me. What if I should react with whatever? Because a woman have a mouth, right? And me have 2 hands. What if I should respond the same way with what I have as how she used what she had on me? What would have happened?
Mhm.
You understand? It doesn't make no sense to me. So if you're expecting me not to, use what I have, what I'm better at, which is my hands, not on you, why are you gonna use what you have on me, which is your mouth? Why you do that? You're instigating something. So I just don't believe in it at all. You can't tell me somebody it's okay, like you indicated earlier. It's okay for one to call you out your name, disrespect you to a certain level. But yes, still, me I go respond because I don't know those names and I don't use them. Me I go respond in the best way me know how with what I have. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. We just don't have to get there. There will be disagreement. There will be disagreement. I might not get what I want. You might not get what you want. But we must talk about it. We must have an amicable discussion without resort to any form of violence or verbal abuse. Because that is verbal abuse. We're talking against abuse. We don't have to abuse nobody.
Mhm.
That's what
Let's move on.
I'm saying. I
Point
don't stand my ground.
taken. Let's move on. Mhm.
All right. Jules has another question, and I think it's your question as well. So here we go with it. It's coming up. What do you consider as someone who communicates well with you? As it may sound as if it's not your way, it's the highway.
That's Dennis.
Dennis, I think that's Dennis
Let's
again.
see you again.
Dennis. Did you hear it?
Is it your way? Is it your way or the highway, Dennis?
Good communication.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I am willing to have a discussion, and discussion can be a heavy discussion too. So I'm not. Look, remember, I'm a man that have 9 sisters. More than anybody else, I understand woman. You understand? And I'm willing. What I'm saying, I'm willing to have a heavy discussion. When I draw the line in when you physically abuse me or verbally abuse me, call me out some name with some 4 foot thing there and all of them things. We just can't get past it. So it's not about me getting my way. You can always get away if it makes sense. We're gonna apply what best work. So I'm gonna disagree with you, and we work through a disagreement. Where I draw my line is when you started to call me the name. So it's not about my way.
All right.
All right. And Jules, who had asked you those questions, she says, I agree, it definitely does not have to result in a quarrel.
Okay.
All right. Japrin says, I still lean, it's coming up.
Yeah, let's see.
I still lean a little to what Dennis is trying to convey. If you still look back to scripture, you will find answer and peace. He says, love you all, following everyone and subscribe.
Nice. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
On that note, please remember to just click the like button on this video. It sends it out to
Yes,
others who
thank
might
you.
appreciate this conversation.
Yes.
He's a Love and Harmony guy.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Oh, really? Nice. Love and Harmony Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Love and Harmony Cruise. Let me different. What you mean? When I touch the cruise, I hear about what we one day soon. One day. It looks attractive to us. So one day we will. One day.
Sandy sort of says, big up Carol.
Big up, Carol.
Big up Sandy.
And big up Sandy Soda in the building. Man, I love that we have Facebook now, so we can stream, As a matter of fact, next week, Primetime Dennis ain't look so studious right now. Can you imagine all next week?
Well, I'm getting a lot of comment on Facebook as well. I just discovered
Yeah, man.
that
Yeah.
I am comment.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
man. Yeah, man.
what
Yeah,
I'm
you're
going
right.
to do after the show, guys, after the show, I will respond to everybody at the best of my ability. This is just a 2 hour show, and it's hard for me
Yeah.
to take these comments but we
Yeah.
will have that afterward.
Mhm.
I
I
will
am in
sit in the
Primetime.
studio. I will sit in the studio and do my work.
Big up to this part.
So there will be a show after the show.
All right. Yo, getting there. We're getting there.
Jules says,
Question.
"Big up Dennis prime time.
Prime time in the
Prime
building.
time.
Oh, you mean?
Kamika is here. Go ahead.
love it. You guys are so brave.
Let's
ahead,
go.
Carla.
Yeah, go ahead, Carla.
Another thing
Uh-oh.
I
All right, in the
wanted to
meantime, let me
touch.
just
Oh,
say
it looks
this.
like we're all
You guys
frozen
Yeah.
are
now.
so brave.
We're good.
Another thing I wanted to touch on is a lot of reasons why people would also stay is because of finances. The husband, or the husband might be the primary breadwinner in the family, and they might stay because of that. I don't want to leave with my kids. I don't want to break up my family. I don't want to endure the shame of a failed relationship, or there's a whole myriad of reasons why people decide that they're going to stay. However, what I'm learning is that, again, they don't want to feel like a failure, especially to their church family. They don't want to feel like a failure to the church family, or they don't want the
endure it.
elders in the church. I'm sorry? Go ahead.
Also, so
So they ignore it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carla, it's funny that you have that, because I have similar things written down here that I wanted to highlight some of the reasons, but you had stated some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. I'm not gonna take away your show.
No. So that's why those are some of the things that I have heard why they would prefer not to leave. Or it could be even a situation where the spouse is sick or what have you, and I don't want to feel like I'm abandoning at this point. I don't want, there's a whole list of reasons. Or if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. Manipulation.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about some of the reasons, we could divert a little from what Pastor dictate and talk about some of the reasons. That's one of the common reasons why people stay together in abusive relationship. Kids are one of the reasons too. People wanted to be there, one both parent to raise the kids, and I don't think that's a good enough reason. That's a whole different topic, because I can teach on that one. Financial, people have financial security, other people's views and opinion, the fear of starting over.
Not wanting to reduce their standard of living. You're
Don't want to
absolutely right.
reduce their standard of living, material achievement. That I have that under, and just to maintain the status, But like I said before, we just want to stick to the church part. But those are many other reasons, and the list can go on and on and on why people stay in an abusive relationship. But the bottom line is that none of these reasons don't work, because the possibility of you ended up in the coffin or in prison is extremely high. And you are talking to a man that I've been through a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things. I have experience upon experience where, not only just my experience, but I must mention, which I'm not ashamed to tell you guys, I was married twice. I was married twice. And from my marriage, I get a lot of experiences. And from all those challenges that I've been through to relationships, that's when I found who I am today. So when I'm talking with this trauma, it's coming from somewhere, and these are the things that I would talk to Carla a lot about too. Is that sometimes when people voice their opinion, and even without them sharing their experience, sometimes we don't know where they're coming from. And I'm
What's
coming
coming
from a
from?
place of my position.
Experience
But
teaches wisdom. Experience teaches
yes, sir.
wisdom, my friends. So we can understand. Yeah, we can understand. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chief.
All right. Big up Kamika. Thank you for being here. Big up
Big up
Sandy
Kamika,
again.
Sandy.
Jules said, "Would I have a quarrel with Dennis 1 and 2 times?" Just 1 and 2 times.
Who the quarrel with Dennis? Who gonna live with Dennis and the quarrel with Dennis?
Come on,
Hey, I tell you this, you know, I'm a lover, I'm not a fighter. You know, we are here for But there was one time, there was a point in my life, you know, steady, where I was the opposite from who I am today. So I didn't just get here overnight.
Always.
I've been through all of that. It's a position that I've taken from my experience. You know, and the truth is, these things you cannot teach nobody. These things you can't teach people. But one other thing is, if you're guided by the biblical standard, or you create a standard for yourself and live within the rim of that standard, that can help you to navigate through that. So you will quickly see the things that you know what. But if we come back to me with the first love thingy, because I had loved myself, I found, wow, did I say something wrong? What
No,
generated
that is a personal moment between my wife and I say myself, sir. Now what? My wife can't touch my screen again, Dennis. You're gonna police me and my wife.
No, I'm just saying, you know, I think it's inappropriate. You're at work.
Leave me and my wife. Leave me and my wife out of this. Sir. Left me and my wife out of this. Leave me and my wife out there. Make him go on. I trouble again.
So what is this?
All right, let's go with the comments.
Oh, comments. Okay. K Bella says, in many ways, it comes back to what Sheldon started out with, or childhood, as Jamaican or Caribbean children or people are generally physically and emotionally abusive. So for most of us, self-esteem is a huge issue.
Big thing. You know, one of the things. Big thing. Thank you so much, K Bella.
It's
So here we know. Big thing. As a matter of fact, I'm making K Bella one like a style and all because K Bella me dupes, you know. K Bella for that comment, Carlton enters the chat right now. Carlton enters. Hey.
You know what? That is a very valid point. A lot of times I've heard Jamaican parents or aunts, uncles, or whatever, we make you so fat, we make you so black, we make you so this, we make you so that. So if you're hearing that over and over and over again, you're going out into the world having that view of yourself. If your own parents or family members are treating you that way and saying those negative things about you and to you, you're going to eventually believe it. You know what I mean? So very valid point. Very, very valid point.
Very valid point. One of the things is this. Anything, if there is anything mental at all or of a psychological nature, remember, you know, in our culture, there is a stigma that's attached to therapy. What up, King? Yeah, what up? How that? DJ. Big up, DJ. Up top. There's a stigma, you understand me, attached to these things. So people when we go through these things, you know, usually what we do is that we're gonna get an education or we find somewhere start making some money, and then we're gonna get to own a car. You understand me? And then we're gonna get our own a house, and we set up some investments accounts, and then we start cruise, and then we're up with social life. And apparently, when we up our social life and our economic life, we tend to use these things now to cushion us for all the stuff we've been through. But I think until stuff like psychotherapy gets normalized in our culture, you understand me, whereby we can go and have somebody, we look at the trauma that we've been through, especially in our formative years, or after you go through certain relationship divorces and all of that. When you go through that, the and PTSD reach you, you understand me, a lot of us are having PTSD because of things we've been through in our past and we not even know. So until we normalize things such as
Suppress it.
recognizing, yeah, patterns in our lives because of how we grew up or whatever, and find a way now, so just like how you treat yourself to, you understand me, the finer things in life, also treat yourself to your own, what them call it, your emotional health, your
Mm-hmm.
personal wellness. There's a better
Mm-hmm.
term for it. Mental health, mental wellness, those
Mm-hmm.
things. You understand me? Those
Mm-hmm.
things are very, very important because, as I say, we really display a lot of the patterns that we learn in our formative years. You
Yeah.
understand me? And those things, they come out in marriage because remember, when the honeymoon phase done and the 5 minutes of sex done, Dennis. When the 5 minutes done, you understand me? And real life kicking now. People are going to start acting, and
Mm-hmm.
people are only going to display what they know. People are
Mm-hmm.
going to show what they know. You
Mm-hmm.
understand me? I said to you. So we have to seek knowledge to make ourselves better, especially when we've been through tough situations. Yeah, go ahead with the comment.
All right, you know who's in the building?
Who?
Lady Valerie.
Lady Valerie is in the building.
Hey.
Valerie, come chat to me. All right, go ahead.
Yes. Hi,
Yeah.
Lady V. Welcome. This is home for you. Welcome
Yeah, man.
home.
Welcome home.
Jules is laughing. Kamika said, Dennis, leave Carla alone.
Yeah. We're there, man. We're watching him in a jacket over there.
Sandy
So.
says, big up Carla. All right. On to the next thing that y'all might need to comment
Wait,
on.
Debbie, cousin Debbie entered the chat earlier on. Big
Hey,
up. She said, have no fear. Cousin Debbie is here. You understand me? Dennis, me a bad cousin right now because, hey.
What you
Nobody make me cousin come. Nobody make me cousin come. Yeah, I'm sitting over there for soda, he doesn't want me here,
I love
So
it.
that,
You guys are so great.
yeah! Yo! Ladies and gentlemen, in life, welcome to Primetime Dennis's studio. Round of applause and a drink of bourbon. I'm happy to see investment. Because listen to me, this is a purpose show that we're doing right now. You
absolutely
understand me? And you have to make an investment in your purpose. We're doing the steady show because Dennis,
believe it.
we are building. What kind of community we are building, Dennis?
We have been in a community of like-minded people.
Like-minded
Dennis,
people. Amen.
and so we want to bring you quality shows. We want to bring quality shows on the steady show. You understand what I'm saying? What?
What is that?
It's when they get modernized. When they get modernized, you don't have to laugh for yourself. You
Up
buy
and
equipment
running.
and laugh for you.
Up and running. Yeah, we have. Yeah. You know, laugh yourself. Make somebody else laugh you. I like it. I love the improvement. And by the way, Dennis has a show that he runs every Sunday. Every Sunday morning. What time? Is it 9 o'clock Jamaica time or 8 o'clock Jamaica time,
8:30.
Dennis?
8:30 to 9:30.
8:30.
It's called Dennis Talk to
So
Caller.
Dennis talk to Carla. Yeah, Dennis talk to Carla. So good show every morning, and they talk real life stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the younger people. I tell you, when I was younger, the greatest gifts I got in my life were the Campbells. You understand me? Anybody know Federal Stores from down there in Montego Bay? Those people had me on the wheel from in my teenage years straight up till in my late that age. You understand me? I say, and it's live. So for the younger ones, use the opportunity to learn from the older ones who share experiences from their hearts so that you can learn from our mistakes and learn from the knowledge we are sharing. 'Cause when we talk from the heart and the steady showing up. You understand me? Continue with the comments, my
All
darling.
right, I'm gonna try to go fast. So, K
Mhm.
Bella says lack of self-esteem sets us up to be victims of manipulation and abuse by predators.
Mhm.
Word. I use that word deliberately. There are people who are skilled at picking out the weak among us,
We're not ready for them.
men and
We're
women.
not ready for them. The conversation. They believe me.
Mhm.
We not even
That's
ready for those conversations.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah. Go ahead.
gotta get back there.
All right, go ahead.
Getting back
All
there.
right, getting back there. I'm gonna stop interrupt you. Your flow. Let me stop
All
interrupt
right,
your
here we
flow.
go.
Yeah.
Which is why she says gaslighting, etc., will work. You have to know and love yourself, and too many of us don't.
Just like what Prime Time Dennis says,
That's what
self
she
love.
said first.
Mhm. Yep.
Learn. Come, Carla, complete after me. Learning to love yourself. All right. Should have ready. Should have Carla. Don't want to sing for it tonight. It's okay, Carla. You don't have to sing for
No
it tonight.
singing.
You sang with me
Dennis.
last week, so I appreciate it. Yeah.
Dennis,
yeah.
should I sing?
Say,
You see, Jeffrey said, I think he said something to the effect of, yeah, it's very entertaining. And I want them to go to bed with that same feeling. So,
no, no, no. I
please.
do not.
Wow.
No, sir. Leave Carla.
Wow.
The moment
Wow.
pass, see
Wow.
Carla, you see what you get because you never want to sing. You see what you get because you never want. You still don't sing there. See that now? See that now? All right, go through. Go through. All right.
Agree, K Bella. Jeff Prince says.
Mm.
Mhm.
Welcome again to Sandy's. Carol says, big up Sandy.
And
Anita,
so
welcome
that's
to
my
already Lady
sister.
Valley. Of
Big up Sandy
course.
Soda in the building.
Come through, sister.
Anyway, yes, it's Soda and Sutherland. Just put the dollar sign them beside it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Dollar sign.
Yeah.
I
And
like it. I
Now,
like
it
it.
start with a dollar sign.
I know it's start with a dollar sign.
there we go.
All right.
Here comes Debbie in the chat. Have no fear.
Debbie
Debbie
is
is
here.
here.
All right, let's go again.
All right. Back to content. You ready?
Yeah, man.
Carol says sometimes we come on, Carol, with the one-liner.
Yeah.
Sometimes we let pride get in the way, then we blame it on the
Lord have
church.
mercy. Me tell you, say, Carl, I know of him much of the whole show, you know.
Carol.
I like Carol. If she didn't come up here tonight, I wouldn't call. You know this, you see what happened to Carl now? Last week, me not call her name wrong, no time at all. Me tell her to come up and she don't come up. So me call her name wrong, you know.
So she said,
You know, busy
pride
with
get
me
in the
now.
way.
Yeah.
You
Pride
know,
get
busy
in
with
the
that.
way and blame it on the church.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I somewhat agree with her because when you start attending the church, remember, you have the dress code and you have an image and all of that that you want to live up to.
Mhm.
So you try to
Mm-hmm.
maintain that image, and then probably Carl, sorry, probably you will say, well, pastor, that's what the church want for us. Yeah, that is true to a certain degree.
Mhm.
But that's not the greatest part. And where I say is when the pastor or the church dictate based off of the religion said you should stay.
Guilt
That's what
you. Guilt you into feeling that you should stay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the church always been proficient at guilt tripping people, you know.
Yeah.
How much have we gave our lives unto the Lord because the hell and brimstone fire message them used to preach back in the church? We're not doing it
Mhm.
now. What they're doing. Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you new farm what me see them do. Mayor Dennis
That's
touch them.
one different something, master.
Yeah, we don't want to touch that. Continue with the comment then.
All right. Let me
Continue with
short
the comment.
cycle it.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Continue.
You're very welcome, Lady Valerie.
Big up, big
Here
up.
we go.
Mhm.
If mama not happy, the kid's not happy, Lady Valerie says.
Oh, that was earlier. That was earlier when I talk about pain relationship for kids, which is true.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Jeprin says very
Thank
entertaining.
you,
This
sir.
is what
Thank
we
you.
said
We
before.
try to do it, We try to add vibes to the conversation. You know what I mean?
And they're
Thank you,
all
sir. All right. There,
jokesters.
yeah.
All right. The prince says some steady family, them steady family.
Yeah.
Some have learned to forgive our elders for not passing parenting 101 class to show love without insults.
Oh Lord. Let's.
Mm.
Hey, tell him to stick around. I think this fellow has something to offer. We need to
It.
hear
You
him.
guys are so
The
great.
prince. The prince. Make sure to you forward. Yeah. Hey, here, prime
That's
time.
it.
There is a
That's
sound
it.
off over there. I like it. I like it.
That's it.
I see you working.
Voila.
Yeah, Japrin, stick around because we definitely want to hear you one of these
Yeah.
evenings. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Mhm.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Debbie says, "Said you mean you're nice cousin."
My
Oh,
sweet cousin when they Debbie.
both times. Put your adjectives on.
Hey,
Oh
guess
my
who's in the
God! Guess who's in
Cindy
the
is in the building. Hey, let me take the time out. Let's take time out to say big up to
Jeez.
Father Greg and Cindy. Hey, listen,
We love
we
you.
don't hear Father Greg often and so on. They have other things that they have to deal with. But every Wednesday, Father Greg send me a message
Yeah.
of motivation. And these guys are the ones who kind of got us back on track with YouTube. You understand me? Them big way up and them call way out, and they gave us the encouragement. We pick it up, and now we're better than we've ever been. So, Father Greg and Cindy, enough thanks and enough love all the time. Steady, sister. All right,
Yeah.
continue.
And if you want to know where to go in Jamaica, all the best restaurants, if you're a foodie, the Greg and Cindy show
Greg
on
and Cindy show
YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Go ahead.
Mhm.
All right. Hey, mwah, Cindy.
Yeah, man. Big up Cindy. Yeah, go ahead.
Charmaine Harrison, welcome. She says, "Hey,
Welcome,
bro." I
welcome,
think that's
welcome.
for you, Dennis.
I tell you, yeah, man, Dennis. The crew is here tonight.
Yeah. Charmaine says,
Oh,
"Hey,
you mean
bro."
big up yourself, yo. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Big up. Everything good? Yeah.
And
We're not hearing your prime time, Dennis.
there you go.
Talk no prime
Sing,
time, Dennis. We're
Carla.
not hearing it.
We're not hearing you.
We're not hearing it, Dennis.
We're not hearing you.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You're back.
Yeah,
No,
I said
Dennis, we're not
that's
hearing
my
Dennis.
technical. That's my technical engineer.
Mhm.
All right,
Oh.
big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up.
Nice to meet
Big
you.
up, big up, big up. Yeah, yeah. Good job, great job, great job. Great job. All right, go ahead.
Of course, Carl says, "Sing, Carla." Charmaine
Carla.
said, Charmaine wants you to know that she is here. She says, "Hey, Dennis, I am here."
Hey.
And
Big up, big up.
she continues. Charmaine
That's my
says, "Hey,
sister,
Dennis."
man.
Yeah, man, big up,
Ah,
big up, big up, big up.
she says, "Hey, Dennis, you know I am here to support you, my brother."
Aw.
One love, one love, one love.
Welcome, Charmaine.
Welcome in the building, Charmaine. All right.
Juice says, so true. I agree. Tamoy says, "Great show tonight."
Thank you, Tamoy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
All
And
right,
Lady
let's
Valerie has a
continue.
nugget for us, so let's go.
All right.
She says, "Not only churchgoers use pride to stay in abusive relationships, persons, male or female, are in fear of leaving because of threats." I missed the first and this might have been discussed already, but threats.
Mm.
Talk about
Mhm.
threats.
Mhm.
We never really did we don't I doubt
Probably
we
would
t-
have
I
been
doubt we
alluded to,
t-
but
I doubt we touched on threats. We
threats.
talked about fear, the
Mhm.
fear of losing out on the
Mhm.
finances, the fear of this. Carla Charmer went in on all of
Somebody
those
said
things. But
threatening suicide, but sometimes we
sometimes
threaten the
people
other
really
person,
threaten
the other
persons.
person.
Yeah, if you leave,
Not
this
really.
and that is going to happen. Again, another form of manipulation and something that can definitely escalate into something worse. Because I don't know how many examples we'll need when we see. Because remember, I know it says it's happening disproportionately in the black community. So it means to say
Mhm.
for how often it happen in the black community, you cannot even compare it to other races of people. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means. Which means to say
Mm-hmm.
it is totally out of control as it relates to what is going on. And I think a lot of it has to anywhere there cannot be effective communication. You understand me? Something is going to happen. And some people still refuse to try to learn. And there's so many resources out there. You can find them on YouTube, you can find them anywhere. You understand me? Just sometimes the things we say, just little tweaks. Like one of the things that Carla spoke about earlier on, people giving you underhanded comments. You understand me? You look fat in that dress, but I still like you and I love you and nobody else have. You know the kind of message that is sending
Mm-hmm.
to you mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? So those are serious things. You need to stop. Where is it
Well,
picking them tough
another
sometimes?
thing that
Hold on there.
I
I'm a
would
real cousin. Hold on there, hold on there, hold on there. One moment. I have to acknowledge my real cousin, Mr. Elvis Haynes, in the building tonight. Pick up yourself, you know, cousin. Heart of love, never short of love. Go ahead, go ahead, Carla the Charmer. Me, I call her Primetime Carla. Dennis, I apologize.
what
You
I
understand
would
me?
like
Carla the
to
Charmer. Go ahead, Mick.
what I would like to address though is a lot of times, especially in our community, because of the lack of trust for law enforcement, a lot of times people will suffer in silence because they don't want law enforcement to get involved. You know what I mean? It could be that, or it could be even that the family would say, how could you leave? There's guilt not only from the church but also from their family, or they don't want to report it because of, like I said, the lack of trust to law enforcement. So what I was, because I have to tell you that I was really shocked when I did that poll and I saw that 33% of people said that they would stay in an abusive relationship. What would cause anybody, and it's not lack of judgment, I would like us to try to figure out why they would stay in an abusive relationship. Why? You know what I
Financial
mean?
security,
Huh.
image, status, jobs, you know, bunch of different things.
Mhm.
The,
And go ahead.
mm, but no, I'm just listening. I'm listening.
Yeah. And another thing um, is there, I think that we should address also, um, not necessarily falling into or following or leading, thinking, holding, excuse me, holding the religious belief or your religious believer, your religious leader, excuse me, as an idol. You understand what I'm saying? Like, how do you change that mindset? How do we change that? You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
right now, the person who I'm very concerned about, who is a dear friend of mine, who's in an abusive relationship, physically, emotionally, and verbal abusive relationship, is staying because of, like I said, their spiritual leader. But he is also getting not threatened by the spouse, but guilted into staying by the spouse.
Mm.
When he says he wants to leave, then the spouse says you're abandoning me. You know what I mean? So it's emotional. It's an emotional abuse. How do you change that?
One have to
He
just love
needs to,
themselves. One
yeah, he
just have to
needs
love
to.
themselves enough. Sorry, boss. You go ahead, sir. Sorry.
No, man, you're good, man. I was just saying that he will need to learn boundaries. You can't give spiritual leaders so much power over um your own life, especially when you're in a life-threatening situation, unless somebody is exaggerating about what's truly happening. And another thing is this. I know that some people they have bad temperaments, but as a man, at some point you have to learn to put down your foot. Again, we are hearing it tonight, but like I said before, as we've established earlier on, and we're doing even right now, sometimes even the ladies are do that kind of stuff. And I know for a fact that if you grew up in an environment where you were hit, especially up to the point where you were quite grown, now you had parents who did not respect your boundaries, they broke into your room, they say anything, them in your life, not giving a personal space or whatever, it is very likely that you will manifest those behaviors when you get with somebody, because that's the culture that you grew up in. And people bring their normal into relationship, and I think that explains why some people stay. Because if you people both of them family members that use that them fight and then they get back together and whatever, I can see how if they were exposed to it, they will tell you they fight this morning, but by this evening everybody is good again. Some people go into relationships with that kind of mindset, but when you meet somebody who is not going to put up with that foolishness, then it's time. The line has to be drawn, and somebody's going to get left behind if they don't change, or if they God help them if they don't get forgiveness. It's divorce court gonna reach them. You get what
And
I'm saying?
if I may.
Yeah, man.
All right. And Carla, to your question about why people stay so long, I was reading something and it said, um, people in abusive relationships, like the women, they leave 7 times before they really leave for good. So they go back every single time. And something else had said women are 70 times more likely to be killed after leaving an abusive relationship than at any other time in any other circumstance.
After leaving.
After leaving an abusive
After
relationship.
Mm.
leaving.
So you might want to keep quiet and
Yeah, yeah,
stay.
yeah.
So what we're saying is that it's important to establish an exit strategy then.
Or
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Or
It's a
probably communication to begin with.
right.
You're gonna need an exit strategy because, like I said before, if people come from that culture, they're probably never going to change. And as Dennis would say, the man is not as emotionally strong. Sometimes when the man get caught up into things, I suppose him don't know how to act, but not saying that he should resort to any kind of physical violence. But we're talking about the fact that the physical stuff come from both ends. You understand what I mean? I say? So I guess it's not a good thing. I guess it's just not a good thing at the end of the day. And you have to choose what's best for you. For some people, they're gonna leave the first time it happens. Some people gonna try and work it out. But from what Sheen said a while ago, or Deans, it's the people who leave and come back. Because I guess if you leave 7 times and you return, you've told this person you really cannot do without them. You understand me? And then they take it to the next level. I think it's like when you're dealing with a bully in school or whatever. You understand me? Everybody gonna tell you talk to the bully, walk out the bully. You understand me? But at some point you have to stand up to the bully. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't stand up to the person that's abusing you, sometimes it only get worse. So we know how it ends up sometimes if you're staying in that. But if you love your life, you understand me, then you have a decision to make if you are enduring it, especially if it's a repetitive thing, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I just think
Yeah.
too much people spend time leaving. Yeah, people spend 20, 30 years, 7, 6 years leaving a relationship that is not healthy, holding on to something and giving up their happiness. I think all of that, and I will repeat myself by saying the absence of love always generates that type of thing.
But
That's what
Dennis,
I believe. Self-love.
right, right. But
Yeah,
Dennis,
go ahead, Carl.
if the victim leaves, and then what happens is the abuser calls, I love you, I didn't mean it, give you all of the reasons why you should come back. I'm sorry. If you didn't say this to me, this wouldn't have happened, or what have you, so on and so forth. This is what's happening repeatedly. This is what happens repeatedly, and the victim falls for it. Like she's just
Yes,
said 7 times. It's happening to males as well. It's
but
happening to males as well.
for me, and I can only speak from my personal experience. I judge a one from their action. Never find comfort in their explanation. Because the explanation
Mm.
have one
I like that. I
object.
like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that. All right, guys. So we're gonna stay true to form. We got 10 more minutes before we wrap up the show. I like the direction in which this one is going tonight. Again, folks, remember to subscribe to all the channels. Dennis Sutherland, hit the like button on YouTube. Send out the video. You understand
Yeah.
me? So let's go with these comments.
All right. Debbie says, and this was in response to Carla's question, why people stay.
Lack of
Debbie says
support.
lack of support from family and friends. You have
And
to have a
friends.
Especially
network.
so if the man have
you-
money, then probably gonna tell her, I should not leave, try out,
Babe.
especially when there's some greedy. You know when there's some
That
greedy
is
mother,
so
and the man makes
true.
sure saying give the mother one good 50 grand. You understand me? I say, go and go work it out. Oh, you hear that? You remember that story with the Donnelly thing? I kind of was happening with her too, you know, that
Oh,
situation.
really?
Yeah, man. I don't know the relationship with the guy and the mother, but I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
it used to happen, and the guy just used to
Oh.
come there and demand that, you know, take
God,
her
that's
and
so
go away.
bad.
And then
Wow.
eventually what happens, allegedly, you understand me from what we've heard. Allegedly. Let me say that. Me and no, I got a quote because me and my lawyer down there. If you take on and if you don't come. So me I say allegedly. You understand me? Go
All
on.
right. Let's go with
Lack
the
of support from family and
content.
friends.
Mhm. This one is coming up. Lady Val says you must have a plan to leave with success.
Exit strategy.
With
Yeah.
success.
So leave quietly and not chat, because if you talk about me, I'm gonna leave you. You want to see if next week now gets me in the house. Next week now gets me in there. Tomorrow now gets me in there.
The person that talks say you might leave now go nowhere. The
Not
person
That's
going.
a person that is leaving just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Sometimes they're not even in taxi fare, unfortunately. But anyway, go on.
Sometimes the man make sure it's
Yeah,
already
too.
Omar.
Definitely need to.
Yes, you definitely
Definitely.
didn't need an exit strategy, especially when you have children.
Yep.
And
If it be like J-Lo, like enough, or be like J-Lo enough, go learn some martial arts. You understand me? But do not pick up the, because that not right. You're gonna end up in a prison. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyways, continue.
Lady Val
That's
says it's
easy.
not as 1, 2, 3. And then she says again, no one wants to live in misery.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I don't support that though, you know. No one wants to live in misery. Then why is it, for example, the person that this show was built around and what was told to us in the preparation part? Why is it that is definitely misery, and I would have seen many others. I mean, who is living in situations and that's not healthy for them. They have to seek external friends, external sources, just to get by on a daily basis because there's no living, there's no life between the spouse, but they're miserable like hell. Oh, you mean no one wants to live in misery when they have
Because sometimes people get comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Ooh, I like that.
People get comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and that becomes the norm. The dysfunction becomes the norm.
I don't think it's even just that they get comfortable. Fear is a very big thing. Fear. So whatever people fear, until, as they say, fear is what false education appearing real or whatever. You understand me? So until they break that mental state, they are likely to continue in other situation. But here's what I'm gonna say, because I'm gonna just do my wrap-up statement, because sometimes it's better when you leave it hot. You get what I'm saying? Listen, value yourself, and really take a look at what's happening to you. You understand me? And if this doesn't make you comfortable, and make a plan to leave, and not just make a plan, put that plan into action. You understand me? And the plan plan not to look back at all. Because as we can see, these things can end up really bad. People can end up in prison, people can end up losing their lives, and all of this kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So do what is right for you if you are being abused. You understand what I'm saying? And when you leave, don't look back. Just keep moving forward. God will provide. And that me have to say. You understand me? All right. The other folks, what do you have to say as your closing statements?
Well,
Dennis?
for me personally, I just think happiness should be the bottom line of people's life. And if something is not healthy for you and not giving the happiness that you deserve, no matter what religion that you're a part of, you should have been able to make the assessment and know it is not healthy for you and it's not giving you the things that you desire for yourself. In order to push those things into motion, I think that first love, though, where would have determined your boundaries and create a standard, and I think that's what we should follow. But
Mhm.
so
Yep.
so that's my take on it. And for the people that who is guided by the religious aspect of things, I think you should just put God first because and ensure that you are equally you. If two
Mhm.
persons are going in the same direction and want the same thing, there is no way they can fail. And that's just my take on it. Besides, I cannot understand that I walk and tell people that I am a part of the steady show, but I see everybody else wearing a hat beside me. Don't make no sense.
Definitely.
Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Steady, steady. All
um,
right, Carla the Karma.
what I would like to leave this show with is follow the actions and not the words. You cannot follow what you cannot, you have to follow the person's actions. So the abuser, look at what the abuser is doing and not necessarily listen to what the abuser is saying to you. And like Dennis said, it has to, you have to start with self-love. You cannot love somebody and give somebody what you don't have for yourself. This is what I have said to friends of mine. This is what I have said to people who I served in my community as a law enforcement officer. You have to start with loving you first. You cannot give me what you don't have for yourself. And an abuser is always going to know if you love yourself or not. They're going
Oh
to
yeah.
know it, and they're going to capitalize on that and
Oh
and
yeah.
and beat you down there. You know what I mean? So, and anytime even the microaggressions start, know that it's only going to get worse.
It's gonna escalate. Yeah,
It's going to
yeah,
always
yeah,
escalate. It's going to
yeah.
always escalate. Yeah, it's going to
Mhm.
always escalate. So
Can I ask a favor,
Well said.
please?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I really love our audience, and I know the show had come to an end, but I noticed some people ignore that the show is ending, and then make some talk. Want to read it out.
No
No,
problem with that. All
we
right,
don't have to respond. We don't have to
all
respond,
right.
but I want their voice to
Big
be
up.
heard.
All right. I love. Read the comment that Carly put a while
I
ago.
absolutely will. Hold on. Lady Valerie says
Oh, we have some more.
we do
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
they are there because they think they do not have an alternative.
True, 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 true.
Carol, Carol says they, they stay because of
they're in,
fear
they're in
and
an
fear.
intimidation.
True, 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 true.
And well, I had mentioned something too. Sometimes people fear what other people will think of them, especially in the church, because when the marriage seems so picture perfect, to everyone, they don't want to leave and have
True,
everyone see that it
Failure.
wasn't good all
true,
along.
true, true.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. The fear of failure, that's true.
Hmm.
And Hey Bella says, I'll close with this. Sheldon, you have one of the most beautifully scandalous laughs I've ever heard.
Oh,
Stay
scandalous.
happy, my friend. Beautifully scandalous,
Big
not
up
scandalous.
Cable. Enough love, enough love. Yeah, beautiful scandalous.
Yes.
You have to laugh from the heart, man. You understand me? Real laughing.
Someone is grinning
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
that. Come on.
Thank
And
you,
then
Kebella.
um
Kebella, let me get her a kiss. All right, big up. All right,
And
go on.
then Carol says the steady show.
Thank you, Carol. Big up, big
Nice
up, big
way
up,
to
big up, big up.
end.
I like it. I like it. I like it. We are at the 2 hour mark, and I don't want Dennis to take with to come off of the line tonight. You know, I see people laughing. You understand me? But folks, thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week. We will be live again on YouTube and the Facebook page. On Facebook, we notice we have a steady flow of folks from Facebook. Thank you so much. You made the show so much more better for us tonight. Thank you so much to the great primetime Dennis in the building, co-host of the Steady Show, Carla Karma,
Yes.
or a topic queen, the most charming one in the chat. You get what I'm saying? Big up on yourself. Everybody in the chat, I'm saying big up on yourself. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please make sure you like and subscribe and share the screen. This is how we say goodbye from the Steady Show. Stay tuned. We are going to give you our outro because that's what we do. Big up on yourself. Heart of love, people. You hear that?